I think maybe some turnovers, man. Forcing some turnovers, we can be better at that. I think we started off high, but we got to get back to that. Limiting some big plays. I feel like we're playing well as a whole, but it's always another level you can take it to, and that's the encouraging part. That's not even nothing to be a downer about. That's the encouraging part, and we can be better. And we're going to work, every day at practice to be there better. So when the game comes, we can make them improvements. So it's encouraging that we got a lot more, place to get better.
Inside the Nest, an Atlanta Falcons audio experience. Here is your host, Craig Green.
Touchdown Atlanta!
The ball game was tight and never in hand, but the Falcons' mistakes had them losing command. Welcome inside the Nest. I'm your host, Craig Green. Let's get into it. So let's give credit to AtlantaFalcons.com for the post-game sound of Falcons defensive lineman Grady Jarrett talking to the press in the locker room after the Falcons fell 24-16 to the Washington Commanders. The Falcons fall to 3-3, 3-1 at home. Desmond Ridder's first ever loss at home as a quarterback in either college or pro. Commanders improved to 3-3, 2-1 on the road as well. So injuries going into the game, the most significant of the injuries was to Caleb McGarry, who was nursing a lower body injury. He fully practiced on Friday, played on Sunday, made it through the entire game. There were no other significant injuries to the Falcons in this game. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into recapping the stats for this contest. And when you hear the stats, you'll be kind of mind blown as to how the Falcons lost this game, except for one glaring statistic, which if you're listening close enough, you'll be able to pinpoint it out for yourself. So let's take a look at, we start off at the top with first downs, 25-13 Atlanta. On third downs, the Falcons, not good, 5 for 15, but better than Washington, 2 for 10. Falcons ran 79 total plays, 50 for Washington. Total yards, 402 to 193 Atlanta. Yards per play, 5.1 to 3.9 in favor of Atlanta. Passing yards, 296, 121 Atlanta. Rushing yards, 106 to 72 Atlanta. Both teams 2 for 3 in the red zone. Penalties, Falcons had 4 penalties for just 31 yards. Washington penalized 6 times for 40. Possession, 36 minutes for the Falcons, 23 for Washington. But here's the statistic that makes all the difference. Turnovers, 3 for Atlanta, 0 for Washington. That was one of the biggest differences in this game. Other plays as well. But when you turn the ball over 3 times, you would think you'd lose by more than just a single possession. But that's how tight this ball game was, and that's how impactful those turnovers were to the Falcons. So let's take a look at the good things from this game, shall we? There was some good. Yes, this game was a little heartbreaking to lose. It was a little gut-wrenching, but it was still a pretty darn good game. So the good that we can take from it, Drake London, number 1. Drake London had a terrific game. He was in his bag early and often as the primary target for Desmond Ridder against Washington, and Desmond Drake took what the defense was giving them, and they were cooking for quite a while. I mean, you can't deny that. I mean, Drake London on the day, 9 catches, 125 yards. So he was cooking. Calais Campbell also the good from this game. Calais Campbell getting sack number 100 was also a good thing, but unfortunately the Falcons couldn't complete the parlay and win the game for him. And despite the struggles in the second half, we're going to say Desmond Ridder was part of the good too. He had his second straight 300-yard passing day, and I think that deserves a little bit of love. He's still getting everybody involved in the passing game, trying to keep the defenses guessing. And doing that is a good thing, but to an extent, the Falcons' opponents are keying in on the run game, and they think they have a better shot at beating the Falcons if they make Ridder beat them with his arm. So I love the sack total as well. The sack total on Sunday nearly doubled. The Falcons had 6 total sacks going into the game and were able to bring Sam Howell, the Washington quarterback, down 5 times. And being around 2 sacks a game as a team will get you over 30 for the season, which is a huge improvement from the past few years of abysmal pass rushing. So before we get to the bad, let's go over the individual statistics for this contest. Desmond Ridder, 28 for 47, 307 yards. He averaged 6.5 yards per throw, two touchdowns, 3 interceptions. They were crushing interceptions as well. He was sacked 3 times for just a loss of just 11 yards. His quarterback rating on the day, 66.6, and not a good number. Rushing attack was led by Tyler Algier, 13 carries for 51 yards, just under 4 yards a carry. Bijan Robinson, 13 carries, 37 yards. Ridder chipped in with 18 rushing yards on 2 attempts. Cordero Patterson, 1 rush for no gain. Receivers, again, Drake London, 9 catches, $125. His long catch on the day, 32 yards. He was targeted 12 times, so he caught 75% of his targets. Kyle Pitts, 4 for 43 on 6 targets. Bijan Robinson, 5 for 43 on 8 targets. He was totally one of the favorites of Desmond Ridder when he needed somebody in a pinch. Mac Hollins, 4 targets, 3 catches, 41 yards. Jonnu Smith, another good game for Jonnu Smith. New had 5 targets, 4 catches, 36 yards, and a touchdown. Michael Pruitt was targeted twice, had 1 catch for 9 yards. CP 84, 1 catch for 6. Scotty Miller targeted twice, 1 catch for 4 yards. Kadero Hodge, Van Jefferson, Tyler Algier, all targeted. Neither of those guys made a catch. The second passing touchdown for Desmond Ridder did go to Kyle Pitts. We forgot to mention that. Again, 6 targets, 4 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown for the Ocho. Defensively, the Falcons, again, 5 sacks on the day. They were split up by Bud Dupree with 1.5, Arnold Ebiketie with 1.5, Calais Campbell with sack number 100, and Grady Jarrett had a solo sack of his own. Jeff Okudah had a nice game as well, just registered 1 tackle but was sticky in coverage. Had 2 pass deflections, 2 of the 3 Falcon pass deflections on the day. Nate Landman again led the team in tackling, 8 tackles with 6 solos. Jesse Bates, 5 tackles, 3 solos. But again, Calais Campbell was the guy highlighted on defense today because he had such a milestone sack, and it was a meaningful sack at that time of the game. Broke out the dirty bird. It was a fantastic moment. So now that we got all the good out of the way, let's get to the bad, okay? Turnovers. Turnovers. Never are good when they happen to your team. The Falcons had multiple chances to get things going, but 3 costly interceptions were one of the biggest factors in Sunday's loss. They weren't all the same interceptions, but they hurt equally. Although they overcame the giveaways last week against the Houston Texans, you can't really lose a turnover battle every week and expect to win. Untimely mistakes as a whole were a key factor in the loss. I mean, Washington scored touchdowns when Atlanta made mistakes. I mean, let's go over those mistakes, okay? Bradley Pinion misdirected a punt, which led to Jamison Crowder busting a 61-yard punt return to the Falcons' 11-yard line. Like 2 plays later, play action fake to Antonio Gibson. A couple of Falcons defenders bite on the play fake. Gibson was wide open for an easy touchdown in the corner by the pylon, put the Commanders up 10-7. Then a few minutes later, the Falcons went for it on 4th and 3 from the Washington 48. Didn't get it. That set up the Commanders with a short field. They scored their second touchdown of the game, made it 17-7. Me personally, I thought it would have been better to punt the ball and try to force Washington to make plays from deep in their own territory rather than put them at midfield, because if you don't convert, they're starting right there, where the line of scrimmage was. So you gave them only a 52-yard field to go down. If you punt the ball, maybe you can pin them inside the 10, inside the 5, make them go 85, 90 yards down the field. Those extra 20, 30 yards probably wouldn't have made a difference, I think. But, hey, it is what it is. Let's look at Ridder's interceptions, okay? The first one, he was baited by Kendall Fuller, who's a veteran cornerback in this league. Kendall Fuller was backpedaling, pretending to backpedal in coverage to drift off in the zone, but then he jumped the route intended for Van Jefferson, the newest Falcon, and set up the Commanders inside the Falcon 30-yard line. 2 plays later, Brian Robinson Jr., 27-yard screen pass, touchdown, Washington. So second pick, that one was a bad throw. That was a bad throw by Desmond Ridder. He was chased out of the pocket, rolling to his right, threw it off his back foot. The ball didn't clear the end zone. Look like he was intended for Mac Hollins, I believe, and ended up getting picked off in the end zone. The third pick, this one wasn't very good either, but also this one I would say is less on Ridder, maybe more on the receiver himself. That's just my opinion. The third interception that basically sealed the deal was Bijan Robinson running a slant route. Then, what he's got to do is he's got to run the route to kind of block off the defender. The defender this time was Jamin Davis, but instead Jamin Davis was able to cut in front of Bijan Robinson. The ball was slightly behind, just from the angles I saw on television, and Jamin Davis picks it off. The Falcons are out of timeouts. Their wings are clipped inside the Washington 30-yard line. Coming up next for the Falcons, the Dirty Birds will fly south to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers, led by head coach Todd Bowles, quarterback Baker Mayfield, who are 3-2 and just a half game ahead of the Falcons for first place in the NFC South. Overall, the Bucs lead the series 30-29 on the strength of winning 5 of the last 6 head-to-head, including a controversial 21-15 loss in Tampa last year, where late in the fourth quarter, y'all know you Falcon fans remember this, Grady Jarrett was inexplicably flagged for roughing the passer after sacking Tom Brady on third down, with the Falcons having the clear momentum and time to tie the game. The Falcons got revenge on the last day of the regular season in Atlanta. That was the game where Desmond Ridder handed Tom Brady his only career loss against the Falcons. And so this game, aside from the memories, is extremely important for both teams because the winner will be 2-0 in the division and in sole possession of first place nearly halfway through the season. So Tampa themselves is coming off of a poor showing at home against the Detroit Lions. They lost 20-6 at Raymond James Stadium, a.k.a. the new sombrero. The Bucs are 1-2 at home. Atlanta's 0-2 on the road, so something has to give unless it finishes in a tie, of course. So that's always out there. But either way, both teams are looking to get back into the win column. So the Bucs are led by Baker Mayfield, 65% completions, 1,088 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks, been sacked 5 times, has a passer rating of 91.3. Leading rusher for the Bucs, Rashad White, averaging 3.3 yards a carry, has 232 rushing yards, just 1 rushing touchdown, the only rushing touchdown for the Bucs this season. And of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are led by the dynamic duo at wide receiver, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Evans, 386 yards, 3 touchdowns. Chris Godwin, 332 yards, has not gotten to the end zone yet. Trey Palmer is our number 2, the rookie out of Nebraska, the 6th-round pick, has 2 receiving touchdowns for the Bucs. So keep your eyes on number 10, Trey Palmer, to try to make a factor in the passing game. But yeah, we're expecting a highly spirited contest with control of first place on the line, Falcons and Bucs. Right now, the Bucs are favored by 2.5 points from what I saw. I think, again, this is going to be a much tighter contest, and I don't think the Falcons are really scared of this team. I mean, again, they're 1-2 at home. They just got beat 20-6. They're not giving up a ton of points right now. They only surrendered 88 points, which is 32 less than the Falcons have given up. But I think it's still going to be a very tight ball game. Their offense is basically the same. Their defense is basically the same. They just have Baker Mayfield in there now. So let's tune in Sunday, 1 o'clock, and see what happens. Okay, so we're going to call it good right here. Thanks again for checking out this Atlanta Falcons audio experience. I'll invite you, as we always do, to follow me on social media: Facebook, Instagram, X, Snapchat, YouTube, and Threads at Craig G Sports. Please like and subscribe and share this podcast with any Falcons fans you know. And we will return either Sunday or Monday after the Tampa Bay game with a review of that game. So just a few days late on the review of the Washington game, so we figured we'd throw in a quick preview of the Bucs in there as well to get you primed and ready for this Sunday at 1 p.m. from the new Sombrero. So until that game is concluded, we take our notes and we do our recordings, all that good stuff. This is your guy CG saying have a good rest of the week, sayonara, and buenos noches.